Welcome to the Barker Podcast Collection.
I suck, you suck, I suck at Call of Duty.
Welcome to the Not Playing Podcast. My name's Rob Howard, and today I'm joined by
Ian Bruce,
Marcus Hurley,
and Will.
So, yeah, we've reached the end of another glorious year of video gaming, and this year we've decided to do things a little bit differently, in that, what with this being the Not Playing Podcast, of course we've not played most of the games, but we have kind of arbitrarily seeded a pair of games in 4 different categories, and we're going to basically do a bit of a battle royale and see which one comes out on top. So the groupings are.
I'm sorry, but you can't call it a battle royale. We'd actually just have to compare them all against each other.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I've heard this sort of been referred to as a battle royale, but fine. I'll give it to you.
It's more a playoff.
Okay, a playoff then. So technicalities aside, the groups are, the first group
They're not so much groups, they're more pairs.
Okay, well, yeah, pairs. So the first pair is Sony exclusives, and in that we've got God of War facing off against Spider-Man. In Group B, we've got some open world games. That's Red Dead Redemption 2 versus Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Group C is party games, which I've kind of arbitrarily dumped Mario Party and Beat Saber in. So we've got a bit of VR, a bit of Switch going on there. And
Battle
finally,
Royale
in Group D, we've got first person / multiplayer, which is Fallout 76 versus Far Cry 5. Yeah, so yes, that's Far Cry 5. So yeah, let's start at the top then, and probably the one I'm going to agonise over the most, because they are both pretty much in direct contention for my personal games of the year. So yeah, God of War v Spider-Man. We're basically going to go round, and each of us is going to kind of explain why we think either one should go through to the next round. So who wants to go first?
Can I?
Of course.
I vote God of War because I've not played Spider-Man.
There's going to be a bit of this.
I think we've got we can do we can also do a drinking game here. Listener, whenever we see Rob roll his eyes at our shenanigans, take a drink and we'll give you a shout. So you should have had 3 drinks already.
Okay. See, the thing is, I don't think this is going to be quite as clear cut, because we've got one for God of War and one for Spider-Man, because Marcus has indeed now joined the PS4 club and has played and is very much enjoying Spider-Man. Ian,
Yes.
I guess by default you would have to go Spider-Man as well, right?
I would, yes.
Okay. Right, so we've got 2 for Spider-Man and one for God of War. My heart really wants to go for God of War. And I'm not just going to go for Spider-Man because it causes a stalemate otherwise, and we'll be here all fucking night. But yeah, I do just want to, I think it has to be underlined, like, what a masterpiece God of War is. I cannot deny, though, I had so much fun with Spider-Man.
I think this is a key point, actually, the word fun. And this is something I've realised about gaming very much in the last couple of months as well. Fun should be the reason behind all of this stuff, not artistic masterpieces and all of that stuff, but how much you just absolutely enjoy doing it. Different people have fun different ways. God of War I enjoyed. Really, really cool, but not as much fun as some other things I've played this year. Great story, great game, beautiful production values, but I reckon Spider-Man looks like a shitload of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's very earnest God of War, but and I think, like, you can also to think of, like, a simple fact, like, I found it really hard to stop playing Spider-Man. God of War, I was kind of like, I could park that after an hour, no problem, because it was quite demanding in some ways, and just very heavy stuff, you know. But it is such an expertly constructed game. It was an open world game that didn't really reveal itself as such until quite a way through it, which was refreshing after so many games being open world. But yeah, Spider-Man definitely has more of a traditional open world structure, but I don't think there's a single activity in it that I didn't want to do. So it kind of gets a pass.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't try and describe God of War as open world, personally. It feels more... It's got play areas. It's almost the traditional approach, but it's all in almost a Metroidvania way. The tools unlock, skills unlock, you go back, you revisit.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah, the designers likened it more to Disneyland, the way that Disneyland park is actually structured. That was their sort of touchstone that they wanted to try and do. But yeah, anyway, God of War's already
hang on, sorry. What?
They likened it to a theme park because you have all the different areas like around Midgard and stuff that you can kind of go to.
It's right. Theme parks have paths for you to walk around.
I kind of see what you mean.
It's you come in and like grocery shops in the UK, catering for the Americans. You will come in and you'll go through a very specific set of orders and aisles and stuff. And when you get to the counter, there's lots of the things that the kids will pick up and go, "Mummy, can I have one of these?" and this kind of stuff. It's a managed experience instead of a
like IKEA.
Game. Yes, exactly like IKEA.
Yeah, the game starts off very much like IKEA,
but with less meatballs.
And then you finally realise where things are and realise you can just cut through.
Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, so yeah, that's God of War. Bit too IKEA/theme park for our liking. So Spider-Man goes through.
Can you get meatballs in Spider-Man?
Yeah, maybe.
Whoa, that's very
I'll find them.
Maybe they're in a backpack.
Right, fine.
Yeah, Marcus will scour the world for it, yeah.
Are you supposed to put the balls in then? In between his Christmas special coming soon.
Oh, yeah, true. Okay, moving on to Group B, and this is the open world category. So we have Red Dead Redemption 2 and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. So I'm just going to say right now, interestingly, I'm going to vote for Assassin's Creed Odyssey, even because I haven't played it, but just on the basis of everything I've heard and the grind that I am feeling with Red Dead Redemption 2.
Are you still on Red Dead?
I'm still playing it, but I'm not rushing it, but it's not even like I'm taking my time with it. I'm just sort of like playing it when I'm like bored.
Yeah, have you kind of like tired of it and you're now seeing other games behind its back and you know the relationship's dwindling?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I was gonna not borrow anything from work, and I ended up borrowing something from work because I was like, I need something else to play as well as this.
I won't do it again, darling. I swear I could change.
Yeah, it was just a fling. It really was just a fling. Anyone else?
I'm not going to go with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, only because the subject matter is a little bit more interesting. Red Dead, I was probably more excited about Red Dead when I was caught up in the hype of the return of Westworld and stuff. It's off the back of that. Having finished Westworld and it's kind of dwindling a bit. I still love the soundtrack. Still listen to Sweetwater whenever I get to Liverpool Street Station because it's quite poetic. But Assassin's Creed sounds more interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm more looking forward to playing that than playing Red Dead again. So yeah, that's our high authority opinion on it.
Will hasn't even spoken. Who's the one who's actually played the game?
So yeah, Ian, Red Dead Redemption or Assassin's Creed Odyssey?
How many people have gone for Odyssey so far?
Me and Marcus so far.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to go for Red Dead Redemption 2.
Because you've played that one.
No, because I think I know which way Will's going to go. I haven't played Odyssey, and I think if I did, I would like it as much as I did the one before. What the hell was that called? Fuck.
Origins.
Thanks, Origins. It looks beautiful.
Oranges.
I think they're sweating the assets on it, but Red Dead, at least the first few hours, make it a really great game, and I've played that one.
Okay. All right then, Will.
So I made, on the last podcast, I made my feelings on Red Dead pretty clear. I went on, I finished it, completed the game, saw the story through, skipped an awful lot of side quests because I was getting sick to death of it, and it felt like an utter... When you feel you're grinding just to finish the story on the main quest, you're not even doing any side quests, there's no levelling up, it felt like a chore to finish. I got to the prologue, and the prologue only would let me take control after about half an hour. It got switched off, uninstalled, and I got 40 quid for it as CEX. So that was lovely.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey is utterly bloody marvellous. It doesn't take itself nearly as seriously. It is graphically gorgeous. The Greek islands are incredible. It's got the return of the naval combat properly that I loved so much from Black Flag.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
the RPG elements are really cool. You've got 3 different damage types. You choose your specialisation. I've decided to put it on hard, play as an assassin, and if I get in a fight, I have to run away and hide in a bush. I cannot take these people on face-to-face. Whereas in the original AC games, frankly, you'd try and stab people in the back, but then you just get in a fight, kill 50 people, off you went. If you play it right, it's a proper assassin simulator with some of the most incredible views I've seen in any game ever.
Yeah.
The ship combat's back. The story's good. The upgrade path. There's this mercenary system, bounty hunters, that has taken elements from the Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War side. Not that they return, but they're kind of generated.
Well, did you play Origins?
I did play Origins, yes, I completed that as well. This is a step up from Origins. It took what Origins did that was new and has done more.
Right.
There's nothing missing that was in Origins. I prefer the characters and I prefer the story. It's absolutely wonderful, and is an absolute win over Red Dead to me.
Okay then. AC will go up against Spider-Man in the next round. On to Group C then, and this is party game, so this is a bit random. I'm sure we haven't all played all of these, but yeah. So Mario Party for the Switch versus Beat Saber for whichever VR platform you might or might not have.
It's on all of them, isn't it?
It's on PSVR and the PC desktops.
So,
yeah.
That is all of them, actually, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a
right.
There's like a Focus
gear
or a
and
Go clone that kind of does it, but it's not quite as mad because the tracking's not as good. So
yeah, I have to say,
it's
I've
on
not
the main
played Beat
ones.
Saber, but I've heard on a lot of the podcasts I've listened to, a lot of the things I've read, I've heard incredibly good things about it.
Oh, it's good. Yeah.
So tell us about it. I know you've mentioned it in a previous podcast, Ian, but please give us a recap.
Rob, have you played it yet?
I've played it, yeah. It's normally the thing I try to go to after the pub, but fail at miserably.
Right.
Don't you need coordination?
Yeah, I can still manage quite a lot of coordination after the pub, I'll have you know. Yeah, at least I think so. I could get through it on normal anyway. But I really enjoy it. It's like a bit of an exercise game. Can explain it again, Ian, if you want. It's basically lightsabers, isn't it? But,
it's Guitar Hero with lightsabers is what it is.
Slash to the beat, right?
Yeah.
That's right, yeah. And you have to move as well away from these big sort of monoliths that come...
Like Tron-type or Death Star trench run things that come that you have to go over and under or... yeah.
So you're
it's cleverly
manoeuvring.
done.
It's almost like going through tunnel
Yeah,
levels
it's like a
when
tunnel.
you've got
It's
the
like
obstacles
a
coming up.
tunnel runner, whatever it's called. What's the... Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great game. I mean, I have to go for this because I haven't played Mario Party.
Also, I'm going to put it out there before we start voting for the Game of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
Made by not a massive studio.
Yes.
Saying. Just putting it out there, just saying.
I think it's the only one on the list that isn't AAA. Well, we'll talk to Fallout 76.
Yeah,
Well.
or at least shooting for that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
I
I haven't played it loads, but no. Are you still playing it quite often, Ian? Or is it just
Reasonably
kind of
regularly. I've had to stop just because I'm... what did I have to stop? I'm perhaps not as fit as I once was.
okay.
Just going to see if I can see how long... I think I've probably got 50 hours in it, maybe.
Wow.
That's more than I spent on completing Red Dead.
25 hours. Only 25. Yeah, only 25.
Just felt like
For the game of...
But when you consider that one workout, so to speak, is 3 minutes ish, that's a fair amount of waving my arms in the air like I'm being attacked by a flock of wasps, which is not the right group noun, but we'll go with that anyway.
Yeah.
A flock of wasps.
No, that sounds like enough hours to constitute a habit.
I believe the collective noun for wasps is a bastard.
Yes. A shitlord of wasps.
I
didn't want to go there.
It's alright. I always put the explicit tag on because I can't ever remember.
I must admit, it does sound like a very painful thing to go to the doctors about.
Yeah. I've been stung by a cunt of wasps.
As long as it's not in your cunt.
Oh.
There
If only
we
we
go,
had
Rob.
subtitles for the episodes. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why they love it. Anyway, so...
I find it incredibly addictive when I played it before. I'm recapping stuff I've said, I'm sure. I'll pick it up and do, right, I'm just going to do 3 songs because I need to do some other stuff. And then, like 2 hours later, I'm wondering why I can't feel my arms.
Collapsed on the floor.
And while my back is going, please stop bending over so quickly. You're not a young man anymore. Doing like the Russian dance where you're crouching down and shit. It's just, no.
I just
Good
want to
fun,
see
mate.
footage
Good
of
fun.
you playing. Just set up a little video camera
That's
in the corner.
Never going to happen. There would be far too much wobbling.
Ooh.
I have, yes. And also during the summer...
And you've deleted the ones that did exist, I imagine.
Not naked, but it's very sweaty.
Scantily clad.
And while there was a fan beautifully softening the sweat on my orbs, it's not something that's going to end up on the internet, is it? Perhaps this bit should be removed, Robert. Please feel free during the edit.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'll make a note.
Yeah. So this section wasn't edited and added into as a Easter egg.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's me and Ian for Beat Saber. Marcus, I don't know if you've had any experience with either. So
I haven't. I mean, to be honest, I've played 1 or 2 of the other Mario Party games, and they are quite fun. But I think Beat Saber is something special because it carries on the kind of DDR Dance Revolution sort of. That's as opposed to DDR RAM. It continues that sort of thing, but to the extreme, and it just seems like such a great concept, and the execution's brilliant. I've seen videos of it going, and I'm like,
And there's custom songs on the PC, so you can do Avenged Sevenfold stuff and all kinds of shit.
That must be murder.
It's. I
You
quite
might
enjoy
as well
it, actually.
detach your arms and throw them.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'd have to give it to Beat.
okay, in Mario Party's defence.
Okay, so Mario Party I bought very much to play with my family. It's the only game I've got that the wife will very happily play. But I've managed to get the children into it as well. So my kids are 4 and 6. I bought the special edition that had an extra 2 Joy-Con. So I've now got 4 Joy-Con. It means as a family we can now play. And there's all new things for the Mario Party stuff. We had it on the Wii, and we both loved it. That was pre-children. But now it's got these cooperative games where you can play, where you're working with the kids. It's got a dance-type mode where you're waving the controllers around, which the kids absolutely adore, and it's hilarious to watch them. It's the most fun family game, or group game. I think as a party game it would be exceptional as well. And it's it's a number of mini games, virtually all motion controlled. Wave it to the left, wave to the right, shake it hard, whatever. Just moving the Joy-Con around to control. So it might be a little driving game, might be a game where you're all fighting each other, or where you've got to cooperate. It's just lots and lots of mini games strung together. Some of the mini games are brilliant, absolutely hilarious. Some are a bit weaker. But I would just say, if anyone's looking to be able to get non-gamers into a game, and I think VR's got that going for it as well, to be fair. Beat Saber, think, is one of those. But as a social game, I just think it's wonderful. Got no regrets buying it. I spent, I think it was £80 on the game and another pair of Joy-Con. I've got no regrets whatsoever.
I would say it's pretty close because in terms of party games, Mario Party is literally as in party of 4 people, whereas Beat Saber is. It's not multiplayer, is it? It's a single.
It's social.
Is it? Oh, crikey, that's going to be insane.
One person stands.
Multiplayer's coming. Yeah, multiplayer is coming. Yeah, and I think there's a fair amount of videos of people doing like couch co-op, not couch.
Okay,
single
cool.
player,
Yeah,
where there's lots of people in a room and somebody will do a song, somebody else will get up and do it. So it does work like that.
I would imagine though to multiplayer it, you're going to need more than one VR headset. I mean, is it VR only?
I think the multiplayer is networked rather than local.
Yeah.
Okay.
So not what when I refer to social, I think as in in the room party games. So Mario Party's got that going for it, but I think Beat Saber just sounds like a fantastic experience, and it's getting you some exercise, which has got to be good.
Yeah. So to play devil's advocate as well. I mean, Mario Party is pretty much like board gaming. It's the way it's set up.
To an extent.
It is. It's like, because you're all gathered round, you make your way round a board, and then the mini-game of come events or the patches you land on the game and triggering events and stuff like that.
Yes.
And also it encourages you to screw the other person over, because each one of them is about winning stars, and whoever wins the stars at the end, that's how you win. And it encourages you to be brutal at times and just completely rinse someone else's, or the game will just turn around in Mario Party fashion and completely screw you itself.
I like to do that to my 4-year-old because I love seeing him cry.
I think the thing Mario Party has going for it is that the barrier to entry is much lower. Like, it's a lot easier to set that sort of thing up at any time of day. I mean, trying to get my sister to figure out how to do Beat Saber at 2 a.m. was just never going to happen. But,
but you tried.
I could imagine it.
But it might have happened at 6 p.m.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Probably. Yeah. Yeah. But I can imagine Mario Party working any time of day.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's move on. So Beat Saber takes that round, and it will be going up against either Fallout 76 or Far Cry 5. So,
sorry,
I've not played either of these, so I couldn't possibly comment.
You can get Fallout 76 for 18 quid on CD keys at the moment, so that's going
I got
well.
it for a tenner, which is why I've played it.
Nice. Okay, that's fair enough.
Would they give me 18 quid for it?
Shortly they might.
So has anyone played Far Cry 5?
No.
So it's just me on both of these. So maybe I'll take the lead on this one.
I'd say I'll just go with whatever you think, Will.
Okay, so I purchased... I'm in the PS Pro Club now, you see. So Black Friday, I decided to treat myself to the PS Pro. I went for the Red Dead Redemption version because of the quieter fan. And they were doing Fallout 76 as an add-on for a tenner. And I was not going to turn that down. I did say earlier this year, after the E3 announcement, before the E3 announcement, in the E3 predictions, I said, if Bethesda Game Studios put out another game, I will buy it day one regardless.
Oh, you
were true to your word.
No.
Well, almost. You wasn't.
No, there was a month delay, but I still bought it. And it feels like a Fallout game, and to start with, it feels really cool. You come out the vault, you follow it around, but then you realise that the lack of NPCs is awful. You cannot have a conversation. There's no conversation tree. All of the stuff that fascinates me in Fallout, the stories, the interactions, it's all gone. You've just got the audio logs, and what you find is you'll go to a building and you'll find an audio log, and it'll be talking for ages, and you stop listening because you're being attacked by ghouls, so you didn't really keep up, and then you rummage through another chest, and another audio log comes out and cuts off the one you were listening to already, and you suddenly find that it's just, it's so clumsy. I'm putting it away. I'm going to mothball it. I wanted to talk about Fallout 76, to be honest. That's the main reason we've put this in the list, just because someone had to address the issue. But
we have to acknowledge it.
As a huge fan of the output of that studio, am genuinely disappointed. It's got moments of beauty. The landscape is brilliant. And now and again, there's something really cool. But without VATS, the shooting is utterly abysmal. Certainly on a console with no mouse and keyboard. There's no auto-aim or aim assist, obviously, because it's a multiplayer. And without VATS, which was your aim assist, the shooting just feels horrible. The melee combat horrible. It's just a huge disappointment. Whereas
Sorry, I just want to say about Fallout 76, it does indeed sound like all the things that are endearing about Bethesda games, all the things that we give them a pass on, it's all been stripped out, and so all you're left with is like the spine of it, and all the warts and grim bugs and nonsense that we normally forgive, Yeah,
and
so,
I played Fallout 4, I platinumed it, and I never had an issue with the graphics, but playing 76 on the same setup, not on my Pro, just on exactly the same setup I platinumed Fallout 4 on, I noticed how horrible the graphics were. I had come straight from Red Dead Redemption.
that
but it
doesn't
wasn't
help.
even that. It was because I didn't have the wonderfulness of what they normally do to mitigate it.
Fair enough. Anyway, as you were saying, Far Cry 5.
Far Cry 5, on the other side, is another Ubisoft game. I don't know if I'm getting old. I genuinely believe Ubisoft are improving hugely on how they do their game franchises. They are learning and improving all the time. Far Cry 5 was a bit too easy, I'll say that, but it was a shitload of fun. It was just silly, utterly irreverent, over the top, and you could just go in, kill people. It was satisfying to do the stealth. They had a lovely new system around the companions. I'm not going to go into a massive amount of detail because it's an awful long time since I played it at the start of the year. But it was enjoyable. It kept you coming back. It wasn't one of those, just one more mission kind of ones. But it was very much, I'm very happy to keep playing. Which is, I think, that difference. As you were saying, Ian, on Beat Saber, when it's, I just want one more round. Don't so much get that because it's not round based, but you would often say, but there's one more thing on the map. I'll just go and investigate that. Another question mark, see what that is. And it's the same thing I have with Assassin's Creed. They build beautiful worlds these days, and Ubisoft are genuinely improving on the gameplay in those worlds. They've got rid of the towers. They've got rid of the massive, you need to do this to unlock the area. All of the treasure chests to seek out are no longer desperately important. There's no very few silly little collectibles that you need to do. It's just go and explore, find missions and have fun. And Far Cry 5 was very much one of those. The plot was silly but fun. It smashes the pants off of Fallout 76.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. It's a bit of a shame that the upcoming game next year is almost a bit of a spoiler for the end of Far Cry 5, from what I've heard.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I'll put it this way. Far Cry 5 isn't apocalyptic. The new Far Cry based on Far Cry 5 on the same map is post-apocalyptic. Guess the ending!
Yeah. I mean,
spoilers alert.
It's almost like, it's almost like they've been completely transparent this time about their policy, which is, make the numbered Fallout game, then basically bring out a full price DLC using much of the same assets.
Actually, thinking about it, remembering the ending of Fallout 5, there was a choice to make.
It's one of the endings. It's
based
on
one
of the endings.
Sorry. Fallout 5 I'm looking forward to. Far Cry 5, thank you. Yes,
maybe Fallout 5. But...
You had choices, and I suspect this was an ending rather than the ending.
So they can do another one based on the other ending.
The non-apocalyptic, Actually, I've no idea what happens if you take the other one. At some point, I'm going to pick Far Cry 5 back up, and I will replay it, because it was more than enough fun that if I have a bit of a dry patch, I'll go back to it and enjoy it again, which says something for it. And I might make the alternative choice just to see what happens. There's also the classic trick, there's a hidden ending right at the start of that game, right at the very beginning, before you even get to shoot anyone in the face. If you just don't do anything, the game, you sort of go in there and you're meant to arrest this guy, and if you don't do anything, he kind of, you've arrested this guy, he's put his hands out for you to cuff him, and if you leave it long enough, he kind of goes, we're all right then, and the credits roll.
Yeah. I think Far Cry 3 and 4 had the same thing. Far Cry
wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
If you killed somebody at the start, then you just got the credits or something.
That's definitely a critical path of sorts, I suppose.
Yeah. Well worth the money. that
Basically,
is.
you can say, "Well, I bought this. Yeah, I bought this game, and it was so short."
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, like I say, no doubt whatsoever. Far Cry 5 is the winner out there.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I think we'll all roll with that. So now we're on to like round 2 or the semi-finals. So this first one is going to be Spider-Man versus Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay, so can I just point out right now, 3 of us have played Spider-Man.
Yep.
1 of us has played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and there in a Venn diagram world, you just have 2 circles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
one
really
ball's bigger
like,
than the other, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's got
Fair
the
enough.
bigger balls here?
Spider-Man.
But they're very squashed in his uniform.
Okay, that's that sorted then.
Excellent.
Moving on.
Fast semi-final. England match in the summer. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so Beat Saber versus Far Cry 5.
Now, let me go here. 2 of us here have played Beat Saber. 1 of us here has played Far Cry
I don't
5.
think that's... Well,
And one of us can adjudicate and perhaps cause a stalemate.
Where we have a conversation about the merits of the relative 2, like we didn't on the last one.
Marcus, would you like to be Len Goodman from Strictly Come Dancing?
To be honest, I haven't played either of them, so whatever choice I make is just on initial interest. I would like to play both, but I think I would like to play Far Cry 5 before Beat Saber, which is the reason for my choice. It may be through idiocy, it may be through a lack of education, it may be through the amount of whiskey I've drunk.
So this is like, rooting for a very small team with quite an innovative thing in a very
Worked
cutting edge
extremely
medium
hard, long hours.
versus the 5th game in a long running
In a
franchise.
long-
I'm sorry, Rob. I have to dispute that. I think it's the 7th or 8th game, because you're forgetting
Yeah,
Far Cry
okay.
Primal and the other spin-offs.
Okay, I concede my point.
That's all right.
See, I win.
Yeah, okay. All right then.
Look.
So
Well, unless we're going for first, second, or third place here, trying to do it, and we're just trying to decide the top game, what we now have is 3 contenders. We have Spider-Man, Beat Saber, and Far Cry 5.
We have a triple threat match.
yeah, that's fine. I think that makes complete logical sense. So now we have a 3-way.
I don't
Smackdown.
entirely know how we've got
Tables,
there.
ladders, and chairs, mate.
What the fuck happened there? What's going on?
You've got to keep up. Keep up.
Okay, all right. So there's been some bamboozling. All right. Yeah. Okay. Good. Thanks, Marcus. So both Far Cry and Beat Saber have gone through. Excellent. What the hell's going on?
Well,
Yeah.
what I know is you guys are going to vote Spider-Man over that, and I've not played it, so I don't really get a vote. So,
Well, I mean, you could vote for it as well.
I'm going Far
to not
Cry
vote
5,
for it.
because it's the only one I've played out of those 3.
Fair enough.
Although,
Right, then.
actually, I would like to go Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because it is genuinely my favourite game that I've played this year. And I know that's
Well,
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
No.
sad at all.
That's the flaw
It's,
in
I
this,
want
isn't it?
to.
When we
I
get to
vote for
talking
a game
about
that-
Spider-Man, you'll see sad when I start talking.
We're having a conversation about our games this year. We've thrown in a format arbitrarily for the entertainment value.
Yeah.
But
And now we're all
yeah.
sitting there going, "The fuck is this format shit? Let's start again."
It would work better had we all played all of them.
Yes, but we have
yes.
full-time jobs, so can't sit there and
And
play games.
and also don't want it. I've got
absolutely.
Spider-Man.
Only
Why would I
Mondays
play
and
anything
Fridays.
else?
Yeah. And also,
No, I mean,
Strictly's been on for 3 months. I haven't played anything. So
wrong podcast.
Strictly
sorry,
content.
that's for the TV one that we do. Right.
Right. No, I mean, this was the idea of doing it in this structure was just so that we'd have a chance to talk about each one. I
It's
think
fine, mate.
we have.
It's fine. We have. So now it comes down to the vote.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I'd like to just open the floor to Marcus first, and he can explain why Spider-Man wins.
So can I
the-
just preempt it with being the only game
No.
from this year that he has
It's the only
played?
game that screams to my actual soul. I am a.
He did spend a lot of money
Let's
on
put
it,
it this way: I bought the console with Red Dead. I went and bought Spider-Man.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
I think the key point is Spider-Man is one of those games you have been waiting for the reason to get a PlayStation.
It's it is the pinnacle. I've talked about it before playing the game in previous podcasts about playing it back in the PlayStation 1 games, all of the Spider-Man games. This is the definitive version. This is basically starting off with Frogger, and now with this PS4 version, they have built the fucking Matrix.
Yeah, that's
It is a thing of sheer beauty. I can't stop fucking web slinging. It's ridiculous. I put the game on and I'm literally going, I don't give a fuck about the crime. I'm just going to swing through these skyscrapers like a fucking boss. And I love it. I absolutely love it. It makes me smile. I put it down for 4 days and my mood shifted on the 4th day. I was slightly irritable. I was grumpy.
That's proving that video games are great killers. All right.
No.
Yeah.
It's just no. It being a massive Marvel fan, obviously, you may have heard in another podcast. I can't believe what they've achieved with this. It feels like Spider-Man. It feels like someone has taken the pages of the comic book, the feeling, the world, the raw material from it, and put it into a game, and it works.
Yeah.
It is the
Genuine
it's
question.
possibly the best Spider-Man media, or possibly second best. I've ever experienced, ever, without doubt.
Okay. What's your question, Will?
Is there a Stan Lee cameo?
Yes, and it made me
There is,
cry.
yeah,
It made me cry. He literally goes,
Yes.
"You two were always my favourites." And I sat there and I looked at Susan and I just went, "Ooh."
It made me cry as well, actually.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
is.
really a big
I
fan
definitely-
of Marvel films, but that really got me.
And
I definitely missed it up too.
I don't understand who came up with the idea for this, but they are a god in terms of idea. When you start web slinging, if you do it for a certain amount of time, the strings stop, and even web slinging becomes an event. It's the end of a film. You're literally you're just travelling. It's like, imagine GTA just getting in a random shitty car you have, but suddenly it's like the end of where it just,
Imagine if you were doing it on a horse. That would be amazing.
yeah, I know. Unlike that, you don't have to hold down X. You can hold down square, but you've got control. It's
Cinematic mode,
ridiculous.
going
I
up
literally
ships,
was,
yeah.
and I also answered the question, what happens when there are no tall buildings? You web sling from trees.
Yes.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, you just go horizontally around.
It's bonkers. I've never, and it's really weird because like, when you play the game, the night missions, I actually almost get a bit disappointed because the city doesn't look quite as realised because a lot of it's camouflaged. How a lot of films tend to do a lot of CG at night because it hides things. You've got a lot of the lights and everything, but it's only when it's through the daytime and you've got the sunshine and everything reflecting off all the surfaces, all the different shades of concrete and everything. It feels like a real living, breathing city. I think
Different
you said that
shades of
yourself,
concrete.
Ian. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
It
the
sounds
book that didn't quite
ridiculous.
get done.
It sounds ridiculous, but that is the thing you notice.
No, it's right.
And it makes
It's
it feel
absolutely
like
right.
you're actually swinging through a world. I think you both said this already, but yeah, I've never experienced anything like this.
Yeah. I mean, I love that when it's like the sunrise sort of time.
Yeah.
Dusk or dawn.
Golden hour.
And you're just like sort of base jumping off like the top of the Empire State Building and then whoosh and you're back up flying
God,
through the air
it's
and
crazy.
there's just nothing quite like it.
I'm struggling to do the story because I'm just getting distracted by just
Well worth
everything
doing the
else.
story.
But the story is really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really good.
But the thing is, you want to act like Spider-Man. You want to try and
Yeah.
the thing that I loved about it, the perfect thing, the reason that I think it worked so well with that open world structure is that the thing about Spider-Man is that he's got extraordinary abilities, but lots of normal problems that he's trying to juggle constantly,
Piles.
and that's what the game does. That's what the game does. It gives
yeah.
you all these problems to juggle. And all the time you're on the way to a mission and you're like, it's crime in progress. And you're like, oh God, I've got to go and do that now. And there's some of them more like the backpack stuff, maybe less so. But, like chasing after pigeons or doing all those sorts of things. I just liked
They
it.
stood against me.
It really, in a similar way, in a better way than what Arkham did. Arkham did its best to make you feel like the greatest detective and all this, but Spider-Man equally, or even better than that, makes you feel like Spider-Man. You know, it does the perfect
made me
job.
think
I
of
think.
just the way that you were swinging and the way that the world works. It made me wonder whether if there was a Gotham engine with that, it would have felt so much better.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The same engine, but Gotham City, as in living, breathing people everywhere, reacting to you, various crimes and stuff that you can go and stop.
Baddies.
A Batman version of it.
Yeah.
I think that's what we will see on the next one. If there's another Batman, they're going to have to learn from it.
Yeah.
I think it's just technology progressing.
Yeah.
I think like we've just hit the perfect time for a Spider-Man game, really.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the other things Spider-Man related that are happening.
Actually, on that tangent, arguably, because Arkham Knight was quite early in the current generation and was in development for the earlier generation, whereas I know Insomniac Games worked on the Ratchet and Clank reboots, which was excellent as well. So anyone who really enjoyed Spider-Man, go and play Ratchet and Clank if you haven't. It's fun. But yeah, I completely agree. I think we're now at that wonderful point in the generation when the games are genuinely making the most of it.
Absolutely. Okay, so I think Spider-Man takes it as the not playing game of the year 2018. Well done, Spidey. Any other? But I guess we can have some other.
I think Will wants to see if his one vote
up.
can be 3 times as big as the 3 votes for Spidey.
We can have some anecdotes about other less fortunate.
I was just wondering if Ian had anything to add on the whole Spider-Man subject.
That's a good point.
I think I said it in the last podcast, and these guys have said everything that I would say.
Fine. I just thought it was polite to check.
No, it's a great game. It's
nice one.
Definitely a great game.
Sorry, no,
So I'm just looking at the time as well. We've got.
Yeah, exactly. Me and Ian have waxed on about Spider-Man a lot on this show, so I just wanted to let Marcus have his shout since he'd finally got around to playing it.
I held it back massively.
But yeah, no, I mean, Will, do you want to say anything for the runners-up?
What I would say, I mean, Assassin's Creed is the most fun game I've played this year. However, I have not played Spider-Man. Once I've finished Assassin's Creed, I'm going to go back to God of War, finish that bastard. I'm then going to go back to Divinity 2, finish that bastard. Then I'll probably be able to pick Spider-Man up for about a $5, and I'll be all over that. And I'm hoping, by the end of Q1 next year at least, April, May, well, in April or so, I would like to be able to give my opinion on the pair with a comparative, and I strongly recommend you guys, if you have the opportunity, do likewise pick up the latest Assassin's Creed, which is exceptional.
Yeah.
Well, I've started Syndicate, and my plan now is to continue.
Stop it.
No, I'm just doing the critical path. I just need to finish it and go through
Your
it.
obsessive compulsive approach is leaving you
derail
years
an
behind.
OCD era. It's just,
He's doing it in the order of release.
Or there'll be trouble.
My plan is to constantly have an Assassin's Creed game on the go.
You know you can reinstall
until
the old
I get
ones,
there.
right?
Oh no, I don't want to do
You've
that.
done
That's
Rogue,
backward
haven't you?
step.
You didn't skip and not do
I've done
Rogue.
them all. I haven't skipped a single one. I've skipped plenty of the side quests and bullshit, but I have got from the beginning to the end of every single one of them. So I'm not going to stop now. I'm too close. But yeah, I'm on Syndicate now, and my plan is to hand that back in the new year, and then I will get Origins because I've heard that's very good, and many people have said it's better than Odyssey. So I'm not saying you're wrong, but
I don't
Origins
know.
is better than Odyssey.
I've not.
yeah, some people have said that they prefer the level curve and all the I don't know. Some people.
I'd like to know who these people are because they're clearly
Origin's
wrong.
different from the previous ones. Origin is.
No, I think it's saying Origins is apparently reportedly better than Odyssey.
No, I get
Yeah,
that, but
that was something I heard from someone.
Well, they were
on the
obviously
Games with
drunk
Jobs.
and ludicrous.
Well, they were on the Games with Jobs podcast, and
Even
and he's
idiots
played all
are
of the
entitled
games.
to an opinion, even when they're wrong.
The 4 of us
Okay.
are, yes.
No, I trust you, Will, but no, let me do this, and I will get there. And I think by the time you get to Spider-Man, I will probably be at least some way through Origins.
Well,
at least
we may see Assassin's Creed take a break for another year.
I think we are. I think we are.
I think we should. They're doing well. They're not churning out awful shit like they did at points. So let's see a break. We'll see Watch Dogs 3 based in London next year.
Yeah, I've heard.
We'll see how that
Is
goes.
that happening? Is that really happening?
It's the theory.
See, I
and I would love
skipped
it.
the second one. I skipped the second one. I couldn't be arsed.
Quite enjoy the second one.
I
It's still a game I dip into once in a while.
Yeah.
I just think the aesthetic was a bit like hip hop and stuff. I just wasn't really
There is a little
jamming
bit of
with
that, and obviously not being a fan of that shit, it's a little bit... I can't do it for more than an hour and a half usually, but...
Ian, do you mind doing spoilers on that? There's one thing I wanted to know. Main
Hang on a
character's
minute,
called
what?
Marcus.
On Watch Dogs 2? Yep.
Yeah, I'm taking my headphones off if that's the case. If you're
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
it's good and then want to do spoilers.
Yeah, no.
Just make sure
Okay,
you're
yeah,
going to edit
no,
when you edit.
I'll ask
How
you
are you gonna edit
afterwards.
it?
Yeah, I know, exactly. Shut up, all
Let's
of
tell
it.
him. Go on, let's... Drop me a message.
No, fuck it.
Well,
Drop me a
tell you
message
what,
on the group.
hang on, let Marcus ask the question and Ian can tell you whether
No,
the
I
answer's
just have
spoiler.
a general theory. Like,
Yeah, go on.
characters called Marcus tend to have one, as Rob would say, critical path.
To get drunk as often as possible.
No, they're often villains.
No.
No.
Good.
I mean, more than
That's
they're
what I
the-
wanted to know.
the elite hacker cool guy type stuff. No, he's not.
Yeah, but he could still turn into a dick, you know, it
His
could be a
intentions are
story
good.
arc.
I haven't finished it yet. Maybe he turns into a dick at the end.
Look at Anakin, he started off as a little boy who was a dick and turned into a complete twant. Anyway, moving
did.
on.
Anyway,
So did anyone have any other thoughts about any other games that didn't quite make the arbitrarily seeded list
no.
that they played in 2019 or came out in 2018? Sorry.
Well, my DeLorean broke down and then I came for 2019.
Sorry. I'm already there,
yeah.
man. Like, my calendar is so stacked, I'm
I've
already
got
there.
an unrelated kind of thing. I did play the demo Cry 5. I'm fucking looking forward
okay.
to that game.
We will get to
I
that
know.
in our preview
That's what
episode
I'll say.
early next year.
That's what
we're
I
doing a
said.
preview,
I was
good.
quite happy about that.
We will do that in the new year. Yeah.
So there's one honourable contender, which is an Android game that I've been playing and cannot put down. It's £2
yeah.
on the Play Store, probably the same if you're an Apple person. It's called You Have to Build a Boat. And
I've played this. I
think it's from this year. It's stupid and
Yep.
it's incredibly addictive, and I've been spending all of my time on it recently on my commute. And my commutes, I nearly miss my train. It's brilliant.
Nice.
It's a match free, isn't it?
Yep.
And you go into dungeons
Yeah.
and have to do the swords and the
Yeah.
different things.
And it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's mental.
It's absolutely
Yeah, it's-
if anyone basically wants a little thing on their phone or their tablet to kill the time, £2, you have to build a boat, give it a go.
I think he did another game called it was like 900. It was just called like 9999999 or something. Or it's called 9 million. And it was also the same thing where you were going. It was basically just a dungeon dude going from left to right, like fighting monsters, and you had to match the swords to fight the monsters.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a similar thing. Yeah, but he's got a new game coming out in the new year apparently.
I'll give
that's
that
a
a
bit
punt.
more of a bigger thing. But yeah, I forget the name of it at the moment. But he was on the Games with Jobs podcast, I think. Anyway, that'll do it then, I guess, for our review of 2018.
Well, to our listeners, please have a Merry Christmas or seasonal period, holiday, whatever we call it, and a tolerable New Year.
Play some games.
Indeed.
Merry Crimbo.
Yarp.
Thanks for listening to the Not Playing Podcast, part of the Not Listening Podcast Network, where you can also find the Not Watching Podcast, where we talk about movies and TV, and the Not Listening Podcast, where you can hear Adam and Co. talk about all kinds of nonsensical nonsense. You can email us at notplayingpodcast@gmail.com, or you can tweet at or follow us on Twitter at notplayingpod. You can find the show notes for all our shows at notlistening.co.uk, and if you like what you've heard here, please do leave us a review. Anyway, that's all for now. Until next time,
with no
bye!
fruity. My friend, I'm inclined to agree, 'cause I suck. You suck. I suck at Call of Duty.